Good morning, everybody. It's day 3 here in Barcelona for EULAR, and I am doing my debriefs this morning to give you an idea of what I saw yesterday. Let me start with VEXAS syndrome. That's the session I went to, and the gentleman that spoke, I'll mention his name as I start looking through my slides, but clearly the expert, giving you a little bit of history with VEXAS syndrome. For AiArthritis, I think Tiffany and I started noticing it pop up in the employees in conferences for probably the last 3 years. And we really didn't think that it was something that was under our umbrella in our diseases, but it clearly is, because someone drew our attention to it and said that there is an arthritic component. So I went to the session yesterday, and the man was clearly an expert and just so knowledgeable, and I'm learning along with all of you. This is a disease category that I'm not familiar with, so I'm doing a lot of learning with you guys. Session was called VEXAS syndrome and other RMDs caused by somatic mutations. This session also, I think I blew up our glossary that we have in our working group, so shout out to our working group back home that are looking up words that are being added. I think I added from this session alone probably 16 words that were, like, I could figure out kind of the context by breaking down the word, but it's a whole new terminology. So essentially, they talk about the evolution of somatic mutations in bone marrow. And I believe, I missed it, but I believe the man that was talking was a hematologist, so a doctor dealing with blood. And the one first piece that they call it, so the acronym is called CHIP, clonal hematopoiesis of intermediate potential, and that is a specific mutation in the blood that is one of the leading pieces of how VEXAS came to light. So that was like a bit of the background, and let's see, different categories talking about malignancy in the blood, so like blood cancer, so to speak. Let me see. My computer, of course, with the slides are not working for me, of course. Let's see. Let me go to here. So it's been about 3 years since this disease actually found its name, and I'll get into the naming of it in a bit. So it's a brand new condition, and this doctor, his name was, let's see, Sinisa, so Sinisa, and there's some dots above it, so I know I'm not doing well, and Savic. And again, just the expert, and has so much to say about it. So VEXAS syndrome, the name is broken down by letter. So V is vacuoles, E is E1 enzyme, and the mutations that happen at a UBA1 level, and it's a lack of a particular enzyme that leads to this disease. The X means that it's X-linked, so it is located on the X chromosome, like XY. Y is for male, but X, it is on the X chromosome, and A is the autoinflammatory piece, and S is somatic. So mutations in the UBA1 is restricted to the myeloid origin cells. And some of this is hard to break down. It's very scientific and very complicated. So I'm doing my best to kind of give you an overview. But clinical symptoms, this was a really interesting slide, and I will share my slides so you'll see that in the debrief, like they'll go along with the debrief. 99% of the people that are affected by this disease are male and they're over 50. So that's 99%. There are a few women though. 82% of these patients have dermatological issues and talks about plaques and vascular issues, nodulars, so bumps on your skin, urticaria, a rash, and several other things. There is 61% that have respiratory issues. 47% have musculoskeletal, and it goes into myositis, which is more of a muscular issue, arthritis, which is in our joints, obviously. They say something about constitutional, 69% of them. Constitutional refers to fatigue, night sweats, weight loss, and fevers. I have my slides over here. Sorry about that. Ocular, 44% have eye issues. Chondritis, and there's a lot of breakdown underneath them, but I'm kind of giving you a happy overview, so I don't want to overwhelm you with too much. Chondritis, 39% have chondritis, which is ears and nose, your respiratory tract. Hematological, which is blood related, and the genetics. There isn't a number next to that one, but it talks about different variables, and I feel like it's the mutations that are happening within. Let's see. The incidence of serious infection increases over time in VEXAS, which I found kind of interesting. I think as you age, there's a lot more issues that you deal with. Let's see. Also, they call it autoinflammatory disorders beyond VEXAS, so it's part of the VEXAS syndrome, but it talks about the inflammatory parts of the blood can be also manifest as a pre-malignant, so malignant meaning cancer, and conditions that can result in many different kinds of cancers. As far as just an overview, I have a lot more slides that we'll keep in our Google Docs that we have under each session. We keep all of our slides because they gave probably 40 different references to articles and studies and things like that. And over time, we can share those with you. I did see that one yesterday in our extended, oh my goodness, our group that is here and getting the elevated experience. Sorry, a little tired today. I shared a couple different slides that I added in from a poster that was presented as we've been here, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of background, but I also want to share our beautiful view from our balcony that we have of beautiful Barcelona behind me. And I'm very happy to just present this piece to you and give you some highlights of what I've learned as I've been here. So tune in next time. I'll be talking about difficult to treat rheumatoid arthritis in just a minute. Thanks.